Hey guys, I am back with another video, and today, just like before, I am just showing you on a client how to do another silk press. But today's edition, we're gonna do a pretty drastic haircut. Well, for some, you guys would consider it to be a drastic haircut. Others may consider it to be a trim. But needless to say, my beautiful client came into me and she mentioned that she was recently out of braids and she felt as though her hair was extremely damaged. So we did an OLAPLEX treatment. If you guys don't know what that is, please Google it. Get with your stylist. That is like the liquid gold that's in the industry. What that's going to do is going to repair your hair that is damaged. It is going to rebuild those bonds that have been broken down in your hair by way of just heat, chemicals, water, what have you. So what you saw me doing there, and I just showed you the back there, it looks so good. I'm using my electric pressing comb just to straighten out the perimeter. I only like to do the perimeter with the heat press, the straightening comb, and opposed to all over, and that's just personal preference. By all means, if that's what you feel like doing, go ahead. I like to go through my client's hair with a straightening comb to silk out the rest. It's been so much has been going on since I've been on since I posted a video on YouTube. I've just been working and the salon just been super busy. I injured my wrist just recently, but I'm okay. I was in a car accident and yeah, they told me I had a broken wrist, but needless to say, I'm still working. I can't let that stop me from working. But with that being said, I do have an amazing assistant who helps me take care of my clients, which is why I'm able to even do these styles. My assistant, she helps me with shampooing, blow drying, pretty much whatever it is that I need help with. So I like to take sections from ear to ear, and then from the middle of her forehead going back into the nape of her neck, pretty much creating 4 quadrants. And then within those 4 quadrants, like you see me doing here, I just like to go in and press those sections out as well, prior to me going in with small subsections to start flat ironing her hair. So now I'm starting to take small subsections to start flat ironing her hair. And if you guys remember from the last video or the previous video, I like to take thin sections, no bigger than the width of my flat iron. And I'll go ahead and explain it again. If you take too large of a section, you're not going to get that silked out look that you're looking for because the hair is too chunky. Just kind of imagine that when you take a big section of hair, the outsides are going to be straightened, and in the middle, it's still going to be poofy because the heat is not penetrating all the way through, and it's simply because the sections are too big. So to avoid me having a poofy flat iron, and to get my client's natural hair to look like it has been relaxed, I definitely take my time within my subsections to make sure that they are no wider than the width of my flat iron. Just to give you an idea, for a service like this, it would typically take me about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the density of the client's hair, definitely the length of the client's hair. So it really depends, but I like to get you guys in and out. So about 2 hours, the most. And then it also depends if we're doing any treatments. It may be a little longer than that, but realistically, I don't foresee someone getting a nice silked out silk press done in like 30 minutes. Time is everything, and your best quality work is going to come when you take your time and be patient. Okay, so if you guys remember from the last video, I'm going to keep referring things that I do to previous videos because I feel like, especially for the silk press, the very first video that I did was extremely detailed, from the shampoo to the client's hair being wet, to the blow dry, to the flat iron, to the silk wrap. So I just want to reiterate, when you guys see that smoke, you see that smoke? I can guarantee you that my client's hair is not burning. What that is, guys, that is just oil that has been put in my client's hair, or your client's hair if you're a stylist and you're doing this, coming into contact with heat. So it's common. It's not from like a steam press or anything like that. I am against it. I mean, I would have to do more research. I don't really know how a steam flat iron works, but it seems as though steam and hair and flat irons don't mix well to me. I'm gonna give you a visual. Take a pot of boiling water, throw some pasta in there. When it reaches its boiling point, typically the pasta is gonna start breaking down on a molecular structure. So that means that over time, if I'm doing like a steam press on natural hair, the bonds in that hair is gonna just become broken down so much to where, in my opinion, we are entitled to our own opinions, it's gonna break down the hair and eventually cause dryness, which will lead to breakage. So I do not do steam presses, which it seems as though that's how it's been explained to me. But when you guys see smoke coming from my client's hair, I can guarantee you my client's hair is not burning. You will know if your client's hair is burning. Here's an indication. The hair it will lighten. So whatever their natural color is, it is going to lighten like a shade or a smidge lighter than the natural color. That means it's too much heat, it's too hot, and then the hair is going to smell like burnt hair. So the only smell or fragrance that you're getting from my client's hair is the oil, which smells really good. I just have to add, it smells really good. So don't be scared. The more oil that you use, the more smoke that you see. So really use discretion when you're using oil products in your client's hair. I use Oil Wonders by Matrix. It's a relatively thick oil, but the more you use in addition with heat or to heat, as the oil meets heat, you will see more smoke. The less oil that you use, less smoke you will see. Hopefully that makes sense. Please drop some comments below if you have any questions on that. Okay, so we are here. We are here at the point where we're getting ready to do this haircut, y'all. So I'd like to make a few notes. So you guys see me redraping my cape because I like to use a cape that has a lighter background. So if I'm laying her natural hair or her hair over it, I like to see what I'm working with. Dark on dark is just really difficult for me to see, so I like to use a cape with a lighter color. I've been looking for a white cape, so if anybody know where I can find some white capes for my salon, please, please, please drop some comments below, because your girl Gina, I have been looking for a long time. I would like to get my white capes and brand them. So what you guys see me doing here, I did a silk wrap. I kind of reversed some of my steps in terms of how I do a silk press. I did a silk wrap first, and then I'm going to go in to cut her hair. I would like to add a disclaimer. a lot of people don't really understand what goes on behind the scenes when YouTube videos are created, or tutorials, or even demonstrations are recorded. I'd like to just say, because I know in the previous video there was some questions that were asked, or some comments that were made like, oh, that should have been cut a little shorter. So here's the thing. At the end of the day, I am a professional, and the only thing that I can do is give my professional recommendations to a client in terms of, when it comes to a haircut, how much I believe needs to come off that is either stunting her growth or not contributing to having a healthy hair journey. Whatever the case, I can only give my recommendations and go with what my client is wanting done. If my client is not comfortable with that, what I have to do, because the client is at the end of the day paying for these services, if she's not comfortable with going with my recommendations, then we just go in baby steps and have them taken off. Now, I wouldn't, in my opinion, I really wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but to each his own, because if you think about it, if you're trimming your hair off and you're going in stages and phases, the split ends, they're still traveling upward. So no matter what, even as your hair is growing out, if you don't take all of those split ends off to begin with, they're still tacking on or traveling up to the healthy hair. So like I said before, I can only give my recommendations and only hope that my client takes those recommendations. But at the end of the day, my client has to agree to agree, or agree to disagree. But what you guys will constantly see me doing, or what's happening before the cameras are rolling, is that I am getting consent from my clients in terms of what she wants to have taken off for her haircut. So I hope that, provides some clarity. If you guys are still having any questions or concerns, or if you think clients' hair, if they're having haircuts, or whatever the case is, if you ever wonder why something is not being done, just know that when it comes to those times, some things are out of the stylist's hands. We can only recommend so much, and like I said, and only hope that our recommendations are taken into consideration, because we are giving you advice in your best interest, especially if you express to us the journey or a healthy journey that you would like to be on. So stay tuned and watch this transformation unfold before your eyes. Hey, they say that a woman who cuts her hair is getting ready to change her life, honey. So stay tuned and watch how much we take off. I'm loving how our hair is looking. It's already looking very healthy. My client actually was able to see that her hair was not as damaged as she thought it was going to be. So I'm glad for that. But let's get into this cut, y'all. Let's get into it. So after I go in and do the perimeter, I like to take the hair in quadrants, sections within the section, and trim the hair coming out from the head as well, because it really defeats the purpose if you're only going to do a trim or cut the bottom length and not take care of the damaged ends within the interior of the client's hair. So that's what you see me doing now. I'm taking vertical subsections, pulling that hair out, and just getting rid of those split ends as well. I like to finish detail work by using my 𝐾𝐀𝐈𝐋 wax stick, and this is just to lay down those flyaways to make sure that my clients have picture perfect hair before they leave the salon. My client is loving what she is seeing. This is so beautiful. I am loving what I am seeing. Guys, please drop some comments below on the content that you would like to see next so that I can create some more videos for you guys.